Okay. Well, we'll get a jump into it. We have a very busy call today, so thank you guys all for joining us. We're really excited to share this with you. As of this morning, we will be releasing the June release. It's just about to go out. It has gone out. We just haven't posted the notes. The notes will get pushed up here very, very quickly, and we'll be able to go through it. But what we're going to show you today is actually the June release. So we're going to start walking our way through that and then start talking a little bit about what's coming in the near future. So bear with us. We've got a demo, we've got a bunch of release stuff, we've got some security fun things, and then we'll make our way through. So if we can change to the next slide. I actually don't know who's driving, so whoever that is, thank you. You are perfect. You want to go to the one after this? All right. So in the June release, I've color coded these because you're going to have 3 different individuals demo for you today because it's so big and they have set up on different structures. So bear with us as we walk through this, but we're going to start off with going through the colorway system and the color configurations for our landing page components. This is the thing that allows our American Ys to change between the blue version to the green version to the red version to the purple version. Just a reminder yet again, there is no orange version that you guys will see in this because it is no longer approved for web from an accessibility standpoint. So that one you won't see. You do see a little bit of orange in the red, but by and large, there is not an orange version. We'll also be going through our locations and location finders, the donation components and menus, and our global elements. And then we're going to change from Stasia over to Avi, who's going to take us through the branch content types and the article and event listing. He's also going to show you how to access the docs. And then our last person will be Shelly, who's going to take you through the designs of the new components. So we have 5 components that existed and will continue to exist. They just got a facelift. They got a facelift because of accessibility. They got a facelift because of modernization. But the accessibility is what's been driving most of those decisions. So we're going to make our way through this. Stasia and Avi, we are going to hand it over to one of you. Can you please let us know who we're handing it over to?
Yes, I will start. Thank you very much,
Okay.
Kyle. You told almost everything. It's only left to show.
So Tom, you can drop the screen share. We will bring it up on the next, and we'll let you know when we want to bring it back.
Okay.
Please let me know if you can see my screen.
We are good.
Great. All right, let's start with the colorway configurations. As Kylie told, we have 4 different schemes with 4 different colors, the blue, green, purple, and red. Actually, let me show you the first one, the blue one. You can see how it looks right now. And now I will switch to other colors just to show you the difference. So let's turn on the green one. And now you can see how the elements change, the colors of the buttons change. Please don't mind this last donation component. It's a new one. It's not affected by the new color schemes yet, but it will be in our future releases. Let's move forward to the next color, and it will be purple. This is how it looks like. The buttons turn red, and the backgrounds are mostly purple. And so the last one.
And while Stasia is changing screen, so quick note. No, you're going perfect. Quick note to the community. We have made this functionality available for you, so you are not beholden to a color anymore. You can make it at a global level, and you can change them at a page level. So you will be able to have one section of your site in blue, another section in red, and a third section in purple, if you so wish, and green, to be fair. You can use all of them on individual pages. So that component is available, and it'll adjust for you as you go. And if at one point you have a whole blue site and you decide you want a purple, you can change it and the whole site will configure into purple without having to go through a developer to make those changes.
Yes, in our future release, we will also work on the border radius. This is yet to come. It's not available right now, but you will also be able to change the radius of the borders of different components. I will go to the green one. It's my personal favorite one. And let's take a look at our new component, donation. This is how it looks like, and I will quickly show you how you can set it up. So we need to go to the layout, edit this component. Give it just a second. So here, as usual, you can add a title, a subtitle. You can create a new items here and add the amount of money that can be donated. And also there are some form ID that you can take from your donation provider and enter here. And the last thing, you will be able to add the button text, and the image. And this is what we get in the end. The button other will be here by default. And this is how this component look like. As I said, it will also be affected with the colorways later in our next release. The next thing I'm going to show you today is the location finder. This is how this component look like. Well, in order to set it up, you just need to open Layout Builder, just choose the location finder, and then it will automatically pull all necessary information here. In the location finder, we will have the search functionality, the filter by distance, filter by amenities. The amenities can be set up in this under the structure taxonomy as usual. And also in the documentation prepared by Avi, you can see the instruction. Right now you have a possibility to make the hierarchy for these amenities. You can place them under the categories by simply dragging and drop like we usually do for the navigation. Or you can just stay with simple amenities without any categories like it is shown here right now. Also, you will have the map. Give me just a second to refresh the page. Okay, yes, so this is how it looks like. You can click on the interested branch to see more information. And below the map, you will have all of the branches. You can also set one as the preferred location and to find all necessary information about this branch. So this is basically everything. I'm going to pass the sharing screen to Avi, and we will talk about the navigation and footer. Avi, could you please share your screen?
Yes, indeed.
Just a quick question while that's happening. When changing the Y logo, when changing the Y logo? I'm not sure I understand that question.
This is Yoshiki. I'm a graphic designer here at the YMCA, the USA. I guess my question is like, you see the donations section and you were like doing the demonstration when you were changing the colors. So like, let's say if you change the color to the blue and purple, you see the blue and purple colors.
Yep.
My question is, can you have the donation color? Because, you know, it seems like from each logo, it's still the blue color that we can have that change. For example, if it's the blue and purple, make that into the blue or make that into the purple. That's appropriate to the white color.
Yeah, so it'll have a defined structure. You'd have to work with the developer to work around that. Just because of the way technology works, you can't make everything toggle. The reason the donation section right now isn't changing color, why it wasn't green, is that the way we've been working with the components is we're building them originally to build the component, and then in the next release we attach it to the colorway so that all the color pieces apply to it. So that will happen in the September release. It's just one of the newest components and it hadn't made all of its color structure. So that is coming for September. And then I guess I was curious if what you were trying to ask is when we change the color way, does it change the logo? It does, to align with the color.
No, I just want to make sure like the donation, color, and I see the answer on there, but I just want to make sure that the donation color is appropriate to the white color. So if it's obviously if it's the red, we don't see the blue. So that's all.
Correct. Yeah, that change, like Kylie said, will be coming shortly.
That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the explanation.
Yeah,
no problem.
It was the new component and it was developed after we applied colorway configurations to other components. That's why we will work on it in our next release.
Yeah, it's a large amount of work to change all this structure to make it work. We will be finishing it in September. And so then we'll have a full structure. So apologies if we're still a little bit in between. There is one more and it says, is it possible to just use the Y logo for the top left area? Omit the areas of focus, healthy living, youth development. It is, as I understand it from the YUSA perspective, but it has to be handled very specifically within the storytelling on the homepage. So you would have to have those areas of focus on the homepage through a very clear storytelling. Because of the way the sandbox works, we can't control content. So we put the areas of focus in the logo to ensure brand compliance. If you wanted to take it out of the logo and put it into the homepage to follow brand compliance, you could, but you would have to do it through the content structure of your site.
Yeah, let me take a look at that. I'll discuss that with Wendy and Wendy Curry and Valerie, since right now we haven't been using the areas of focus on our communications material. So, but we'll check back in with you. Thank you.
And they do drop off on mobile as well. So
Yeah.
the areas of focus drop off and you just have the logo.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, so we're going to keep moving with demo. Stassia, do you want to talk through the menu stuff here?
Yeah, let's proceed. So when we are working with the navigation, we need to open layout and add a new section. You can see that it's already added right now. This section is called the web services header. Yes, right here. And when you create it, it will automatically divide this section into all necessary blocks that needed for you to use in order to create the navigation. In the Avis documentation, one more time, you will be able to see the instruction on how we recommend to create the navigation. So here you will be able, in the left corner, you will be able to add the site name. In the right corner, you will be able to add a button for the translation. It's not available right now, but it is available, but you won't be able to see it. It will be available in our next release as well. Right now, we can add the website name. Under it, we will be able to add the logo block. By the way, speaking about the logo colors, you will have 3 opportunities how to place logo in the navigation. The first one will be the white logo, but we recommend using it for footer. The second one is the colorway logo. It will be automatically changed according to the theme that you are choosing. For example, if you choose the green scheme for your website, then the logo will be automatically changed to the green one. And the third logo, you will be able just to upload any custom decision using the SVG file. Yes. After that, in the right corner, we can also add the user account menu. This one will display the login button for the anonymous user and the logged out for the users who are signed in, and my account button. Also in the middle, we will add the main navigation block, and under it, we will add the search bar block. And I think you can switch to the normal view mode and we will show how the navigation look like. Yeah. All right, so here we can see our logo, and in the right corner, we can see the logged in button. Oh, we also see the select language right now. My apologies, it didn't work before, but it works right now. Great. And speaking about the navigation itself, Avi, could you please expand one of the links? We have second and third level of the navigations. And as you can see, you will have an opportunity to add buttons and images to the second or third levels. All of these things can be controlled as usual under the structure, main navigation, and there you will be able to create new links to add backgrounds, images, and buttons. Yes.
Yep, and that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Menu structures.
Yes, you will have a new block called CTA block, and here you will be able, you can show how to edit it. You will be able to add image here, heading, some description, and CTA link and link text. Mm-hmm. Also, if you are going to add too many links in your navigation menu, then it will be automatically moved to the hamburger menu. Ivy, if you could do the zoom in, yes, thank you very much. You can see how the menu transforms to a hamburger, and it looks like this. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. And now I think we can take a look at our footer. It has the similar structure as creating a navigation. You will add a new section in the layout builder mode. This section will be called Web Services Footer, and it will also be divided into all necessary blocks. In the documentation, you will be able to see what blocks should be placed to which part of the footer. We have site logo. As I said, we recommend to use white one in the footer. And then we just add left, center, and right blocks, and you also can configure the links that you would like to place there under the structure. So everything is pretty intuitive. I don't think that we should stop here unless you have any questions.
And just to just to reiterate, both the header and the footer blocks, those come out of the box with any new page. So when you create a new page, layout builder landing page, you can see once we create it that those blocks are already placed for you, and those sections all come out of the box. So you'll have a header and footer on every page. You won't need to add all of those separately.
Yes.
If you do want to remove any of them, every once in a while, folks will want to have a page that's displayed on like a big screen or something like that, where they want to remove the header and footer. It used to be there were some custom solutions to that. Now, if you want just a banner or just some blank content, you can create a page with no extra development, remove all the header and footer, and use that for whatever application that you like. Cool. Okay, thanks, Dacia. I think I'm going to take over the next couple things.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. As Kylie said, much more to go through. So we talked a little bit before about the branch content type. I'm going to go through the migration process through that and show you how that will work. So this is what your old branch content type might look like. You've got banner, all of the kind of details about the branch, and all kinds of blocks in here. Instead of a migration where we have two separate content types, like we have for landing pages and events and articles, because the branch content type is so complex, we've implemented a different migration strategy for that. So if you edit this branch page, you can see here, there's a lot of structured data in here. You have your contact information with the address, the phone number, the directions, you have all of your branch hours. Moving all of this over to a totally new content type would be a lot of work. So when you update to the new version of website services, you'll see here that the sections of the branch content type that used paragraphs, so the header, content, and bottom area, have this message now that says not displayed in Layout Builder. You'll have the opportunity to migrate that stuff over, and I will show you how to do that. So you will also see that there's this new Use Layout Builder checkbox on the bottom of the page. And as it indicates, when you check that box, it'll change this one individual branch from using the paragraphs that are in these three areas up here to using Layout Builder. You obviously don't want to check that immediately because you have to move some of this content. So if you scroll up to the top and click the Layout tab, you'll see that you're able to go in and edit the layout before you switch over to the new design. So here is what you'll see. It looks like a Layout Builder page. But again, it has some branch specific stuff. So we've got this brand new big header that has a lot of the branch information. You'll be able to add sections. There's also amenities, some social links, and a bunch of other stuff that's pre-configured for that branch page. I've added just a little basic content here. And now if I go back and edit this and check Use Layout Builder, then
it takes a second. The purpose for this, while it's taking a second and loading, is to ensure we know that many of you have lots of branches, lots of childcare facilities, lots of different types of location-based structures in your association. This allows your branches to slowly migrate them. There's a few things it'll look mildly different. So we should recommend you do them by chunk. You can do branches and then do camps so that they have a consistent look and feel. That might be something you're wanting to do. But the goal is to give you guys as much flexibility to move these pages independently as possible without breaking your landing pages. There you go, Avi, it's working.
Yep, it's working. Yeah. So there's a lot more detail in these the branch components. You can add images to all of them. You can add all of the layout builder blocks that we've talked about in the last few demos to these pages. And so one of the things that you'll probably need to do is go into the existing pages, copy and paste, or decide how to restructure the content that's in the body here and move it over to those pages. But once you do that, then you'll have this layout builder branch page. And again, it'll be configurable with all of the cool functionality that you get out of the box with layout builder. That is that. The next thing I'm going to talk about is
just to add one more thing. You also have an opportunity. If something goes wrong with layout builder version of your branch, you can switch back to the paragraph version by unchecking that checkbox that Avi mentioned. Yeah.
Yep.
So you have a failover and you have like plan B.
Yep. And it's really easy to uncheck that. And as you saw, when I switch back and forth there, none of the content goes away, either in the paragraphs styles, the paragraphs content, or in the layout. So you can switch back and forth between those two options, either and test it out as much as you like. I see in the chat there, I haven't totally kept up, but that's correct. The URL will stay the same. So those branch pages, you won't have to make new URLs. That'll also be better for SEO. So you won't have your entire sitemap changing. Cool. Okay, next up, I'm going to talk about events and articles. So we've talked a little bit before about how the new sites, you'll have a couple new content types. You'll have an article layout builder content type and an event layout builder content type. We talked a little bit about those before, but with the new release, we have some blocks that help you build pages to highlight those. So here you can see the featured events block. This is showing one event that's really big. We've had this request from a lot of clients, and it's a really nice way to have kind of one major thing or a few major things that you're featuring at the Y show up on the page. You can add this to an events listing page that you have, but you can also add this to the homepage or anywhere else that you like. There's also a kind of a paired set of blocks with filters and listings. And so this shows a set of filters for location, for tags that you can put on the events, and also for keywords. And you can apply those filters and it will filter this block. I'm going to search for fun with no categories. And you can see that all of our fun times, the Y, show up there. I can show you, I'll show you in Layout Builder that each of these blocks is separate. And again, we have featured events, filters, and listing. And you can edit all of those to change what's there. So the featured events, you just select which events that you want to show up. You can show more than one, but we recommend that you just have one feature there. And again, these blocks, you can place them in their own page, but you can place them on the home page or any other landing pages, any other layout builder enabled page that you'd like. Okay, we have the same thing for the articles. So these blocks are almost identical. They just show you a little bit different content depending on whether it's events or articles. So you can see here the article, instead of having an event date, it has a publish date. It also has some tags, and then the filters and listings are there. I'm going to check
I'll
out.
read just a quick question. So for the event pages, can you change the contact person's name under the branch versus having the direct contact information that is currently automatically populated?
Let me see. So you're saying for the
I'm
events
guessing,
here.
yeah, Lauren Bauer is asking, I'm guessing they're looking for the
Yep.
author, that it automatically puts the branch location in place. Can
Yep.
you have an alternate location?
That is a great.
So,
It's a function.
sorry, just to clarify. So currently
Please.
on our website, when you select, let's say, West YMCA branch,
Mhm.
the contact information for the executive director is automatically populated, but the likelihood of the executive director running that event is very slim. And
Yes.
so is there a way to change that contact information to the correct person?
So yeah, so there is an option to change the address. I think with the current implementation, we don't have an option to change the contact information, but that
We
is
don't actually
something.
put a contact information unless you add it, right?
Oh yeah.
So now the contact information is handled manually, so it's not auto
Scroll
populated.
down a little bit. Yeah, it should be right there.
Oh yeah.
But
Okay,
you put it in.
Yeah, so we can check that out. So similarly to how we have a custom address, it should be possible to have a separate contact information there, but that is
And
it looks
Lauren,
like
I do believe I have a request from Tom Scarborough that was sent over. I'm not sure if it was from you.
It's
for
probably
this
from me, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have it on our radar for
Okay.
the next piece as well. Yeah.
Perfect, thank
There's
you.
one more. It says, will a featured event block disappear once it is passed? Or will we need to manually remove the block?
I believe right now, Andre says the featured event will disappear.
Filters will stay, content will disappear.
So if this event is in the past, then it won't show up. Looks like that's not how it's working right now. This event is already in the past.
Okay. So right now you have to manually remove it, but we're always looking for improvement. So that's one thing we can add down onto the list. Do the events range by date? I believe they do, yes, in the listing.
Correct, yeah. So if I remove the filters here.
Yeah, they're in date order. Oldest first, and I think you can flip it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
Yep. Yeah,
it's in structured if you need. That is the last of those immediate questions. Sorry,
Okay.
Abby. I just wanted to make sure we got through those.
All right. Yeah, so those are those listing views. As Stasia mentioned, lots of this stuff is in the docs, and we'll talk about it again a little bit later. But now, just to queue up Shelly, we have kind of, as Kaiden mentioned, there's new designs for a lot of the components. And so we've separated those out in the documentation so that you can pretty easily see what the new stuff looks like. And if you are using an old release, we have this pre-release designs in there, so you can still go in and see the old designs if you are on a version that is using those. So again, they're still at the bottom of the page down there. And also for many of the new components, I think carousel is one. In the individual pages, we have the design system, which is the new designs, and then we have the pre-release designs there.
I'm just going to add a quick note while Shelly's setting up her page transfer, while we transition ownership for the talking piece. I really want to encourage the community to use the docs. The reason the docs are important is right now and over the next year, you have a lot of information that we're giving you, and you have a lot of decisions you need to make association-wide of like, if and when you want to adopt these type of things, what do they look like? How would it function? And you probably have to have internal conversations. Within that doc folder, you can see designs at the top. It's the designs of all the components that you can see out of the box. And they may very well help to guide those internal conversations. A couple quick notes on that. We always post them in the channel a few times. Ping us anytime if you can't find the link. Second, in the release notes, it is always the second to last page of the release notes. We keep a listing of the docs. So if you have a copy of the release notes, we go there. And we update those docs frequently, even during the release if new stuff is being done. So they are constantly in there and you can use them for your internal conversations as well as training and tutorials on how to actually fundamentally input content as you move forward.
Yep. And as always, feel free to get in touch if you have any comments at all. If you're feeling ambitious, there are links over here. You can actually edit pages or try to edit pages yourself, but you can always post in Slack and let us know. There's also a great print feature. You can dump out an entire section, so like you can see all of the layout builder components and all of their content in one huge section. If you so choose, you can print that to a PDF or put it on real paper, but I wouldn't recommend that.
People still use paper?
Yeah.
All right. Now Shelly's going to talk about some of the new stuff we got for you.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm going to go over some of our new components here. Okay, so just to give you a quick overview of some of the newly designed components, we have 5 in this release. There will be, I think, another 4 or 5 that are coming in the next release. So we kind of split them up between multiple releases here. And as you can see, if you want to refer back to this deck for any reason, to just kind of see what these new components will look like. The main reason for changing the designs in these is primarily accessibility. So as you can see here, we are trying to kind of pull out the busyness of this text over the image, and also adding in some of the brand compliant colors that we have that match with the different color schemes. So we've pulled the image toward the top and given us some greater contrast here at the bottom, as well as including some additional colors. Okay. Next, we have carousels, which actually got a bit more of a refresh. We took the text out of this kind of blocky area at the bottom and gave it more of a side-to-side treatment, where the image is kind of taking up a bigger part of the screen, but not the full side of the screen. And then the text is, the text is kind of pulled out on its own so that we have these distinct elements. And then the arrows and carousel functionality have been moved to the bottom area and given some color treatments as well. Another one that we've redesigned a bit has been the statistics component. Again, we took some of these full width components that had large images and we're trying to make them a little less busy and easier for people to read and scan. And so we've still got the availability for the image here, and then our actual statistics over to the right-hand side. And this component is flexible. So if you have 3 items here, you would have 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. And if you have 2, you have 2 larger items, and then 1 item would be 1 large square. And we do have the included variations of these in the design links that Avi just shared as well. So you can see what all of the styles will look like for a different number of components being, a different number of statistics being placed there. And then a couple of quick refreshes here just to add in some additional contrast and color. Flare is the sidebar menu. And then also the tabs where we have, oh, I think I have these backwards. This is the new one and that's the old one. So I apologize. I will fix that later. This is actually the new tabs with the blue color included. All right.
Excellent. So as we transition now, it was a lot to get in. It is, I believe at last count, 90 new features that got added to the distribution in the last bit. So great work, everyone. Let's talk a little bit about what's coming up after this, because we've already moved in effective this morning into the next release. Do you want to change the screen for me, Shelley? Okay, so in September, we will be closing out the final versions of the design system and the final versions of Layout Builder. We'll be transitioning at that point to version 3 of the distribution. We're very excited for that. That will include the camps, facilities, preferred branches for the home structure, a couple more icons, banners, and that type of thing that we're going to give you, specifically a small banner. And then there is some UX improvements that will be coming throughout. So that will be the final sort of wrap up of this year-long endeavor to get all of this moved into Layout Builder. From there, we will also be doing some security stuff. There'll be a CKEditor update. There'll be some remediation to the recent accessibility audits. We did an accessibility audit in this release. There are 18 remediation items, I believe is the final count. Don't quote me on that. Oh, Shelley's shaking her head. Good. I did a great
around
job.
there, 15, 18, yeah.
Yeah, that we are going to get cleaned up this time. Most of them are related to screen readers to ensure that works. It's very important to us that we keep the distribution accessible to all of the online presence. So that's a big one. And then this is what I wanted to talk about just for a second. So as you saw in today's demo, our content is not great. We know that. It was built by us and developers, but YUSA is going to be providing better content for some of the pages, and we're going to continue to work with them to improve it. We're very excited for this because it'll be brand compliant content. It will be brand compliant images. So when you come in to the sandbox, which we'd love you guys all to peruse, you'll be able to see what looks to be a fully set up site. So bear with us in our demos over the next little bit, but we will get you far improved content structure over the next little bit that is brand compliant. And so that's very exciting. And then at some point, this isn't an official release. We won't be releasing this. We'll just be making it available to you. We will have a public roadmap site that you guys will be able to go to and see all of this information in real time that we'll be keeping record of. Shelley, is that our next slide to show the image of that? Nope, not yet. So we'll show you that in a second. And then if you can go to the next one. So for December, perfect. So December, we are doing just a couple cleanup items specifically for Canada, the Canadian colorways. We're looking at the iconography updates that happened there. We will also be doing your Drupal 10.1 upgrade, PHP 8.2, all very important, all extremely non-sexy. We get that, as well as Symfony upgrades. So these are all the back-end stuff that has to get taken care of. We will be adding a promotional content type to the system to support internal ad structures, and looking at advanced filtering for your activity finder. For those who don't know the term activity finder, that is the program's integration. It may be connected to DAXCO, to Personify, to CCC, Spirit, ActiveNet. I'm probably missing some. There are quite a few different versions that are available. And looking at some weekly schedule management that'll come into here. Traction Rec, thank you very much. As we kind of work our way through those ones. So Katie has asked just me directly, the sandbox currently isn't accessible. Is it just me? No, it's not just you. We know. It's a problem. That's one of the reasons we're working through a lot of this updates to ensure the code is accessible. Accessibility requires content. And if you don't put in accessible content, the site doesn't work. So that's a big portion of improving the demo content to ensure that the sandbox is accessible as well. How can I see if any versions of Layout Builder? How can I see if have any versions of Layout Builder? I think you mean, Angie, in your code. It would be, you'd be able to see it if you did it as the upgrade. The first version of the upgrade would have been available in September, if I have any versions. Yeah, you would be able to see it in the content menu. There would be, you'd see there's the bracket on the outside of some of the content types that say Layout Builder, and that will be the first tell that it has been imported into your site, so you can start working with it. If you did the March release, that would have been the first version of it that you would have seen come available to you. So that brings us to March. So we're already planned all the way up to December, and now we're starting to talk about March. And March is where I want to ask for you guys' help. We are going to be moving into 2024 with a little bit more of a thematic release structure, meaning that we're hoping to structure the releases around certain things. We're hoping for March to be around community support, so donations, volunteers, and community involvement, marketing automation, all of that type of thing. If you, at the moment, have things that fit into those areas that work, that you need help or need improvement, we're starting the planning for that now, and we would love any sort of feedback you have. Feel free to reach out to myself or Shelley, or just post in the general channels. We pick all of that up, and we do pay attention to things you're looking for. So we're starting the planning for March right now. We're very excited. All right, and then I think, Shelley, you've got the product roadmap to show us.
Yeah, and along that note, in regards to planning.
Sorry, just one quick second, Shelley. Lauren has said, could you please add financial assistance on there? We've already got that one. So yes, there's some financial assistance, financial calculators, all of that is coming. This is why, and I just wanted to interrupt Shelley, this is why the next thing she's going to talk about, so we can do a better job of making this, what we're hoping to do, more visual for you. So please go ahead, Shelley.
Yeah, so coming sometime hopefully this summer, we have a website services product roadmap site that we're going to share with you. This is just a quick screenshot. I'm currently building out a lot of the content on this site so we can turn it around and share it with you all. But as you can see, we have a kind of a menu here at the top where we have a list of all of our launched items. So you can go and get a nice overview of anything that we've launched recently. We also have different setups for items that might be in progress, work that's coming next. So our on deck for our next sprint, and these will actually move up. So you'll see September become in progress and December become on deck as we start to move forward with a lot of these sprints. These important sections will be the under consideration and new ideas. And what you'll be able to do, and I think I can take you briefly, if you allow me for 1 second to stop sharing my screen and then grab this site for you. I will show you real quick what you can do to help submit ideas to this new site.
And this site will be placed like a website, a normal website. You'll be able to get to it from there. We'll make sure that we share you the link. You'll be able to go in at any point and tell us what you want, what you need, and communicate with us in very real time.
Okay, so this is, let me just get the actual view that is the good view that anyone can see here. Okay. So I've actually just spent the morning building out the new June 2023 release section. So you can see some of the items that we've released from June 2023. And it will give you a quick overview of some of the work that we've done. And you can let us know how you feel about things. It's more important, I think, for the items we haven't released yet. So I'll take you again through some of these items. We have September. So just a quick overview of what we're going to have in our September release if you're curious to see what's coming. And the same thing with December. And again, this is sort of being built out as we're kind of building out these next
down
segments.
for 10 minutes.
What?
Just quiet down.
Okay.
Oh, somebody's audio we're picking up.
Sorry. Sorry about that. I don't know if you were able to hear me. So this last part here, and actually I think Kylie is hiding. It's hiding behind Kylie. There we go. There's this lovely little submit idea button in the corner. And what you can do is say, hey, I have this great idea. Let's chat about it. And what it will do is it'll have you give your email address so we know who you are. So we can get an idea and we can contact you again if we need to get more information from you about the idea that you have. And it'll have you confirm your email, and then we can reach back out to you and use this system to kind of collaborate and consolidate some of these really nice new feature ideas that we might want to discuss for future releases as we start to build up these thematic releases as we go forward. So this will be coming, I guess, in the next month or so. And when it does, we'll do an additional demo for you and kind of show you how to use the entire system. So
the other thing it's going to have, which we're very excited about on the new items, it'll have an opportunity for you to vote. And your vote will tell us what you need and what you want. So that's a big piece that we're very excited for you to be able to add. It's very important to me. And once you start adding, it's critical, those type of things. The more people who ask for things, the more we will push up those releases. So it's always good to know because we want to make sure we're building the stuff that's most important.
Yeah, exactly. It allows us to easily track what's really important to you guys and gather that feedback collectively so that when we are making these new feature decisions, we're doing it in a way that makes some sense for WISE and actually focuses on the things that you need. Okay, that is, I think, everything there. So who are we passing it to now? Is it still me?
You. Yeah, it's still you.
All right, back to the slideshow, I guess. Great.
Quick reminder.
And then just a quick little update here on Google Analytics 4. It is coming July 1st. So if you have not already done so, please reach out to your development partner and they will help you get moving forward with this GA4 setup. Okay, and then for the last bit, just a quick update on site security from Andre.
Yeah, so this slide about CKEditor 5, but not only, it's also about Drupal 10 and Drupal 9. So today's release allows you to use both Drupal 9 or Drupal 10. This is created for easy of upgrade, especially for the large WISE, which have a lot of legacy code, a lot of customized code. So you can get everything what was presented to you today, but still stay on Drupal 9. It will work. According to the CKEditor, it's important to know that CKEditor 4 is about to be end of life in the end of this month, I believe, or next month. But no worries, we are not exposing CKEditor to anonymous user. So even after it's becoming end of life, it just means that it's not receiving any support. In this release, we have only CKEditor 4. For the CKEditor 5, all plugins that we do use in our WYSIWYG editor, all those buttons, every button is a plugin for who is not understand the process. Everything is ready in our development branch. The only thing that is still coming is upgrade path. In order for your developer partner, easy to upgrade your version. Important to notice that CKEditor 5, the biggest change, and I hope it's more exciting change, is that instead of a lot of buttons in your editor, you have buttons that are hiding more advanced interface behind them. For example, you all know that we have document, image, video, and local video buttons. This is all merged into one button called media in CKEditor 5. And the modal window that is hidden behind that includes like a new interface that content editors should become familiar with, but it's all for good. It's all more accessible and easy to use. So CKEditor 5 will be released in next release. We are hoping to make it 100% smooth for all users that are not using customized version of CKEditor 4. If your association or your site uses customized version and has some custom built plugins, we'll have documentation and references to the Drupal community build documents and to our DS docs site, where your developers can see and understand how to build upgrade path.
Absolutely. There's also a developer channel for anyone who is on this call who might be a developer that we are happy to support and walk you through any of those questions or concerns. And we'll go from there. Outside of that, Shelley, last slide, as promised. So as always, our second to last slide is our link to our docs. So we have the docs that we've been talking about today. They also come in alignment with tutorials, videos, which is on a YouTube channel. You get to listen to the beautiful vocal stylings of Avi as he teaches you how to go through all of these things. There are links within the docs folder to those things. For the developer teams and people on here, there is a GitHub repository, so please reach out there if you have questions or bugs or things like that that you'd like to submit. And all in all, Slack. We work very heavily on Slack. We'd love to hear from you on Slack. Feel free to get in touch with us through that. All of these links are available to you. Obviously, also put them in the channel if you don't have them, and we can get access to them there, but we do encourage you to use them, and we'll post this video onto the Slack channel. We'll also post the links to the slide deck that we've utilized and showed you guys today on the Slack channel. And I think that is it. It's been our longer meeting than we normally have, but we have 51 minutes. We thank you guys all for your time and attention. It's a privilege to continue to build this on your guys' behalf. So let us know if we need anything else. Tom, anything from you?
I could not have said it any better than you, Kylie. And with my present post-COVID condition, I thank you for helping out in that regard. It is wonderful to see everyone here today, and really excited about the progress and the plan forward. And I love, yeah, Shelley helped us find that roadmap tool, which will make it really, so much more effective for us to communicate to you where we're going with this. So it's this is work in progress, and we're here to serve. And send us your feedback. Let us know how you're doing. We'll continue to evolve and work hard to produce meaningful and valuable web assets for the movement. So
Just a quick last note from Stephanie on it. The portal will be released sometime this summer. We're just working through the contracts with the organization that's there. So that'll come any day now, but we will probably hope to give you a clear date in the July update. Yeah. Sorry, Tom, didn't mean to cut you off. We had just a couple
That's
last
fine.
minute questions sneaking in under the wire.
Good.
Awesome.
You're
That's
welcome.
it, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For that, you're trying to get information about a new site, you can always reach out to myself directly on Slack or to Tom Scarborough, and we can help direct you on how to get a new site started and where to kind of move through that. And we can get that moving forward. So Haley, thank you for your comment, but feel free to, if you just add that in Slack, I'll make sure that we get you a response. Awesome. All right, guys, happy Tuesday. Thank you for your time. And we will let you guys all adjourn today and have yourself a very excellent, wonderful day.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.